Welcome students. This lecture is for BSc second year students who are in third semester for the paper Introduction to Fortran Programming. In this lecture, we briefly discuss about the basic terminology for computer programs. Myself, Dr. Manjeet Singh, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government College, Arewa. In this lecture, we will discuss various topics. The brief outline of lecture is we will discuss basic computer operations, machine cycle, common sequence for all programs, steps of programming, and finally how computer works. The first step, that basic computer operations. In any work, in any operation or a particular work, computer do some basic operations. The basic operations of computer are broadly classified into four categories or in four steps basically. The computer do its job in some steps, and these steps broadly divided into four class, that is receive input data, process input data, produce output information, then store the data, information and instruction to its memory. So these four type of operations are the basic operation for any process or any work performed by the computer. So in all works performed by the computer, these are the four basic operations. That computer receive input data, and then computer process that input data, and processing is done by computer depending upon the sequence of instructions given by its user. Then after processing, some results are produced. Then results of this execution, results of this operation are stored in its main memory. The schematic representation of these four basic operations as shown in the slide, that computer takes input, then depending upon the instructions given by its user, computer do processing of that data, then produce some results, information, and all these results and information finally store in its main memory, and then these information or output of is can be collected by its user. So this is a pictorial representation of four type of operations. Let me define the machine cycle. The question come into mind, what is machine cycle? Machine cycle is the basic operation cycle of a computer process. In computer, there is a processor, and this processor completes the operation or work in the some sequence, in some sequence or in some steps, and the sequence of operation is known as machine cycle. Sequence of operation of computer processor is known as machine cycle. We can also define it is the process by which a computer processor retrieves a program instruction from its memory, determines what actions the instructions require, and carry out those actions. The machine cycle is repeated again and again when we start the computer and when we shut down the computer. So the basic operation for machine cycle is repeated again and again. We can also define this machine cycle in terms of instruction phase and execution phase. In any program or in any operation, there are two phases. One is instruction phase and another is execution phase. As its name suggests, instruction phase means computer receives the instructions. Execution phase means computer execute a particular process or a particular work. So in instruction phase, the steps are fetch, decode. That first step, fetch, means computer gets instruction from its main memory, or computer gets instruction from the input section. After getting the instruction, computer decode the whole information into machine language. And after decoding, it follow the commands given by its user, and then computer or operation or work enters into second phase, that is execution phase. In execution phase, computer do some work, execute, do some operation, arithmetical or logical operation, depending upon the instruction given by its user. And after performing some operations, the results of that operation, results of that process are stored in its main memory. So in machine cycle, basically these instruction phase and execution phase. That is broadly classification. This can also be defined pictorial representation of machine cycle, that is control unit, arithmetic logic unit, main memory. The first step is fetch. That means computer takes some information from the output section or from the user. Then this information is decoded in machine language. Then following the instruction given by its user, computer will do some operation, and then results of this operation or process are stored in the main memory. So this one complete cycle is known as machine cycle. Computer will perform or do its job by repeating this machine cycle again and again. So this is basically one complete cycle for a particular operation. Then common sequence for all programs. In programming, the program can be divided into 4 parts. That is, we can say structure of the program. In any programming, we can define the structure of program, and the structure is broadly divided into 4 parts, and this structure is common to all type of program. This is common to all type of program, irrespective of the language used for the program. This is common feature of all program when we use C language. This is also common feature of all program when we use C++ language, or we use Java, Pascal, or we use Fortran language. So basically, we focus on the Fortran language. So any program or any type of program in Fortran language has four basic structure, four kind of basic structure, and the program is divided into four parts, and there is a four ways that we can define the instruction, or we can define the programs. First part is of program is sequence of instruction. Second part of program is branches. Third part of program is loop structure or looping. Fourth part of program is modules. So this is all these four ways, all these four steps are common feature to all type of programs. So let me discuss one by one. Sequence of instructions. That means computer receive some information or instructions from its user from the input section. Computer do the operation in steps, that first step 1 is completed, then depending upon the instruction, step 2 is completed, and depending upon the instruction, step 3 is completed, and depending upon the instructions, step 4 is completed. The arrow indicates the flow of program. Program is going from top to bottom as arrow indicates. This slide, as arrow indicates, program is going from first step to 4 steps. So in any computer program, the instructions are going from first step, then on second step, then on third step, and then on fourth step. So the sequence of instruction, either that may be for input section, that may be for output section, that may be for some process. So sequence of instruction is common to all type of program. That means we can use any kind of programming, we can solve any kind of problem. We have to give the sequence of instruction to the program. And sequence of instruction defines the direction of program, how program works, how the calculation or operation will be completed by the computer, that depend upon the sequence of instructions. Second is part of program is branches. Branches are generally used whenever there is some condition. When there is some condition, whether condition may be true or condition may be false, in that situation, computer program will follow whether path 1 or path 2 depending upon the test conditions. So when a decision is to be taken in the program, then branch structure is appeared in the program. That means a program can be subdivided into two parts. In one part, sequence of instruction are different, and in another parts, the sequence of instruction are different. So depending upon the test condition, whether true or false, the computer takes the decision. If condition is true, then computer have to follow or program have to follow first path. If condition is false, then program have to follow second part. So whenever there is a decision in the program, then after the result of decision, program sequence will follow either of one path, either first path or second path. So branches is a kind of structure which is common to all type of program. For instance, in this example, when our program is at step 1, then arrow indicates some test condition. If condition is satisfied, then computer will follow path 1. If condition is not satisfied, then computer will follow path 2. In this way, the program sequence will go through path 1 or program sequence will go through path 2 depending upon the test condition. So this type of structure in the program is known as branches. Third structure in the program is looping structure or loops. Loop structure are generally used whenever some calculation or some operation is repeated again and again until some test condition is satisfied. So whenever we put a restriction in the computer program, if this condition is satisfied, then computer will not repeat the sequence and then go to next step. If the test condition is not satisfied, then computer will repeat its previous job or its previous operations. So program steps are repeated continuously until some test condition is reached, at which point controls then flows past the loop into the next piece of program logic. That means if we put some test condition, that means suppose n is greater than equals to 100. If this condition is satisfied, then computer will go to next step. If this condition is not satisfied, then computer will repeat its previous sequence. And this sequence is repeated until the condition, that is n, becomes greater than equals to 0. In that sense, a looping structure is required whenever program has to repeat it again and again until a test condition is satisfied. So this kind of structure in the program is known as looping structure or loops. So this is also a common feature to all type of programs. Then modules. This is a fourth part of program. Modules means a mini program, a kind of mini program, kind of just like we use some poems in the literature. In the same sense, a kind of mini program in main program. This mini program is also a part of main program. So modules means a kind of mini program which are used at particular place, at particular part of the program, and the function of this mini program is to calculate or to do the operation many times where it is needed. And this mini program may be common to 4 or 3 or any more than one places, or more than one places when a program is going on. If some mini program is common for more than one places, then this mini program is generally used, and this type of structure is known as modules in the computer program. So modules is used when a operation is repeated many times at two or more places in a given program. For example, the modules as this common modules which is shared at step 1 and step 3. The module is common for step 1 and step 3. When program is at step 1, then the calculation or operation or some results are used, and these results are calculated by this mini program or share module. Then program will follow the arrow sequence and go to step 2. Then program will go to step 3. Again, this mini program or module is shared with the step 3. That means again similar kind of calculation as done in step 1 will be repeated in step 3rd. And then finally program will go to step 4. So in this way, whenever some mini program is used more than one place and the same kind of calculation is used, and this type of structure is known as module structure in the main program. So there are four basic parts or four steps or which is common to all type of program. That is sequence of instructions, then branches, then loop structure, and then modules. So this is four basic ways or four basic parts of any kind of program which are generally used to solve a particular problem. Now, steps of programming. Now, main question comes in mind, how we can do the program. For developing good skills for programming, we have to follow some steps. And a programming is defined through steps, and these steps are known as steps of programming. The first step, second step, third step, fourth step, and fifth step. The first step is defining the problem. Second step of programming is planning the solution. Third step of programming is coding the program. Fourth step of programming is to test the program. And fifth step of programming is to prepare the document for everything. So let me discuss all these steps one by one. First step is defining the problem. This is most crucial step in programming, computer programming. If our problem is well defined, if our problem is well understood, then that means we can easily solve that problem with the help of computer program. So first we keep in mind that our problem should be well defined. If this problem is not well defined, then it is very difficult to find the solution for a particular problem. So well defined means we have to know about every variables. We have to identify the variables on which our input depend, on which our output depend, on which our operations depend. We have to identify those variables on which our output can be modified. So well-defined problem is half-solved problem. So if we are able to define the problem accurately, then it is very easy for us to solve a particular problem with the help of computer program. This is also indicates the steps of programming, that is defining the problem. Then second step is planning the solution. If we define the problem accurately, then we can accurately plan the solution. We can expect the solution, what kind of output we get after computer program. So we can easily plan the solution if we have well-defined problem. There are two common ways of planning the solution to a particular problem. One is to draw the flow chart, and second is to write the pseudocode. Or we can also use both. Flow chart means flow chart is a pictorial representation of computer program. This flow chart represents step various steps in terms of pictures, how the sequence of program will go from step 1 to step 2, step 2 to step 3, and so on. That is a pictorial representation. So flow chart is a map of program. If we define this map before conversion of our problem into computer program or machine language, we have to first plan the solution, and this planning of solution will be very easy if you use flowchart or pseudocode. So a flowchart is a pictorial representation of a step-by-step solution to a problem. It consists of arrows representing the direction of program and various decision, and the sequence of arrow define the execution of the sequence of execution of program or direction of execution of the program. In other words, flowchart is a map of our program, how program is going from first step to last step. This defined through the map. Just like we need the map to go from one place to another place, just we need the map to find a particular area or particular location. In the same sense, a flow chart, which is a pictorial representation of program, can be used to identify the sequence of program, sequence of instruction from first step to last. Another type of method which can be used as pseudocode. Pseudocode is like it is not a standard language. It is language like which we can easily understand, and this is not a programming language. This is a language in which we can code the program, and that is easy to understand the program logic. And this pseudo language depend upon the user of program or computer program. Pseudocode permits us to focus on the program logic without having to be concerned just yet about the precise syntax of particular programming language. Pseudocode means we are not using the syntax of language. We are just focusing on the logic of the program. We will not follow the rules or syntax of language. We just make a rough structure of rough map of raw material or raw type of rough type of program, and this to make this rough structure to program, a particular language or particular code is used, and that code or that language depend upon its user, depends on the programmer. Different programmer use different type of pseudocode. So pseudocode also help us to understand the program logic to develop error-free program. So this is also a very important, just important like flowchart. Then if we are able to define the problem, if you are able to plan the solution, then our problem can be converted into source code. Coding means conversion of our problem into machine language, so that computer can understand and it can do a particular job. Coding of program means translating the logic from flowchart or pseudocode to a programming language. So at this step, you can use any type of language. You can use C language, you can use C++ language, you can use Fortran language. So conversion of our problem, conversion of our flowchart or pseudo language or pseudo code into more familiar computer language or machine language, that is programming language. So conversion or translation of our problem into machine language or to developing a code or source code, that is a third step. It is also very crucial step, because while translating our problem into machine language or source code, then we have to follow all the sequence, all the syntax of the particular language chosen for the program. In any language, there are some rules, there are some syntax that are well defined, and we have to follow all the syntax, all the rules of that particular language. If you are not obeying that rules, then there will be some errors, and these errors are syntax errors. So we will discuss all these in more detail in next slide. So basically, conversion of our program or problem into source language, source code, or programming language. This is your third step, that is known as coding of program. So whenever program translation is completed, when we have completely translate our problem into source language or programming language, and then after conversion, the fourth step is to test the program. So whether program is correct or program is incorrect, whether program contains some errors or program may not contain some error, that depend upon the test of the program. So after conversion of our problem into programming language, we have to test the program. So testing of program means we have to find the errors, whether there are errors or not. If there are errors, then what type of errors are? If there is no error, then you can run the program and check out the output, whether output is correct or not, whether output is desirable or non-desirable. All these things we can find out in the testing of error. So testing of program or testing of whether program contains error or not error free, that is your fourth step. So testing of program is almost all program may contain few error or few bugs. Testing is necessary. Testing of program is, it is necessary to find all these errors so that correct result can be obtained by using the computer program. So debugging means it is a process of removing the errors. It is process of identifying the errors, location of errors, and type of errors. So what are, there may be different type of errors. So all these type of errors can be find out when we test the program. So testing of program is very crucial step, because it tells about that whether program is correct or not, whether output is desirable or not desirable. So while testing the program, there may be some errors. First type of error is syntax error. Syntax error means in any programming language, there are some set of rules, there are some set of instructions, and we have to follow all these instructions, all these rules while translating our problem into programming. If you are missing some syntax, if you are missing some rules, then there is some errors, and that error is a syntax. So violation of syntax rule in programming language generally generates syntax error. Interpreter or compiler can easily find these syntax error, and these will help us to locate these type of errors. So while doing the programming, we have to keep in our mind that we have to follow all the syntax, all the rules of any programming language which is used to chosen for programming. That means we have to follow all the rules. We have to follow all the alphabets of that language. Second type of error which we generally encounter during testing of program, that is logical error, semantic error. Logical error or semantic error. Logical error means that depend upon the logic of program. If are some logical mistakes, then there will be logical error in the source code, in the computer code. So compiler or interpreter cannot notice these kind of error. These errors can be minimized. These errors can be minimized if we accurately define the logic in the program. If we accurately find out the logic, we accurately define the logic at appropriate places where it is needed, then our program may not contain logical errors. Otherwise, it is very difficult to find logical errors in the program. If there are some logical errors, that means the output of our program will be affected. We cannot find accurate result, and accuracy of our program depend upon the logical error. If there is no logical error, that means our result will be accurate. If there are some logical errors, that means our output will be affected, and that output may be undesired. So while translating our problem into programming language, we have to keep in mind the logics, appropriate logics, which is used at a particular place where it is needed. Third type of error is runtime. So in the program, if there is no syntax error, if there is no logical error, then we can compile the program. Compilation means execution process. If there is compilation means testing of program. So while compile the program, that means while testing of program, if there is no syntax error, if there is no logical error, then when we compile the program, the compiler shows no logical error, no syntax error, then last step is running of program. When we run the program, then sometimes we encounter the error which is known as runtime. Runtime error generally we found during the execution process, during the last step of testing of program. This is mostly caused by invalid data entry or tries to use not existing resources. That means runtime error means suppose we define a variable and we are not giving the value of that variable, and we use that variable at different places during the program, then we can encounter such kind of error. Second, if there is a some arithmetic operations and operations are in such a way that there is a division of something by 0, and there is a also this kind of error that will be encountered like runtime. So this is testing of program, that is 4 steps that define the different type of errors and that help us to develop a accurate program. The last step is document of everything. So from first step to 4th step, we have to develop, we have to design all the documents. We have to prepare all the documents. So documentation is a detailed description of the programming cycle, specific facts about the program. A typical program documentation include the origin and nature of the problem. It includes the flowcharts, pseudocode, input variable, output variable, and the sequence of program. So whenever we complete the program and we arrive at 5th step, that means we have to prepare the document for complete program, so that it will helpful for us in developing error-free programming, in finding the errors like logical errors, like runtime errors, syntax error, and you can get the desirable. So all these steps from 1st step to 5th step are very crucial, and these steps are steps of program. Then finally, question come into mind: how computer works. The working of computer depends on the program. Suppose we want to solve a particular problem, then we can use either write a program, write our own program, write our own or develop our own program, and we this program can be used to solve a particular problem step by step, or we can purchase a program. The same program we can develop, the same program we can purchase from the market by giving its price. Then we can purchase and we can use that program for solving a particular problem. Or if we do not want to purchase that program, then we have to develop or design our own program for solving a particular problem. So a program does nothing more than tell the computer how to accept some type of input, manipulate that input, and spike it back out again in some form that human find useful. That means computer program is nothing, this set of instruction, and that set of instruction is given by user, and depending upon these instructions, the computer will do some operations and then find some information, and this information is given in the output section. In this way, either we can purchase a program or we can design our own program. So depending upon the condition, any of can be used for solving a particular problem. So in this way, computer works. Finally, thanks for your patience. So this is brief introduction about the steps of programming, about the machine cycle, about the basic operation of computers, and common sequence to all type of programs. So if you, dear students, if you have any query, and your query are invited, and we will discuss all these problems in next time. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience.